Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Nagayate Girim Yat Kirpatadam Bande Shri Gurum Dintaranam Brahmanand Madhvam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram नमो विष्णु उपादाय कृष्ण प्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदो श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौर भक्त वृंदो हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 राम संकीर्तन की जय हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य जय प्रभुपाद की जय शिमल भक्तविंद की जय निताय गौरा प्रेमानंदी हरि हरि बोल जय श्री श्री राधा श्याम सुंदर भगवान की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णविंद की जय जगन्नाथ बाल सुभद्रा महारानी की जय शंभल भक्तविंद की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदी हरि हरि बोल हरे कृष्णा. So we are going through chapter second, contents of the Gita summarized, and so far we have finished almost 44 verses, which covers Sakam karma and part of the Niskam karma and part of the Buddhi yoga also. So we have few more verses left. This chapter has 72 verses, and last set of verses from 54 to 72, it talks about Sthit Pragya, who are the liberated soul. I request devotee to turn their camera on because this class is supposed to be in person, but due to COVID and all of that, we try to do you know uh, virtual. Right? It should be more of a class type of format where we all are in a class and we are doing it. So in first chapter, we have seen this slide devotee so many times. In first chapter, Arjun is giving 4 reasons to not fight. He says, how can I fight with my friends and family, which is coming out of compassion. That has been answered. Krishna spoke about Sankhya philosophy. And then he's saying that I don't see any enjoyment. Who am I going to enjoy if all of them are killed? So some of that part is answered under Sakam Karma. And then fear of sinful reactions and destruction of the family dynasty. So fear of sinful reaction, some of that is going to be answered under Niskam Karma and also under Bhakti Yoga. And what would happen if the family tradition has been stopped? That has been also answered through a series of verses 45, 46, and then in third chapter, verse number 24. So very powerful discussion we are going through. As we have told before, that this chapter in nutshell gives the kind of content or summary of the subject that we are going to see in Bhagavad Gita. So, Gyan Yoga, the science of Sankhya philosophy, what is the difference between body and spirit? Krishna spoke about body, which is matter, which is supposed to be destructive, and then a spirit, which is eternal, and it is not going to be uh, moistened, not going to be cut into pieces, not going to get destructed. So spirit is eternal, matter is temporary, it's going to be destructed. And then he talked about fruitive activity, sakam karma. And he says Sakam Karma is basically done with the uh, results in mind, but it should be engaged in Niskam Karma. Niskam Karma is higher than Sakam Karma. And from verse number 38, Krishna starts talking about Sakam Karma. He says that Sukh Dukhan Samakritva Labha Alabha Jaya Jayau Tato Udhaya Ujashva Naivam Papam Vapsasi. Without thinking about love and alav, loss or gain, victory or defeat, happiness or sorrow, you should just uh, you should just act, because if you act in that way, then it's not going to incur any sin to you. So part of the Niskam karma is also Buddhi Yoga, and Buddhi Yoga is Bhakti Yoga. So many of our acharyas have very clearly said Buddhi Yoga means Bhakti Yoga. So Krishna talks about Niskam karma, and then he says that, but you should, with all of this knowledge, try to engage in the devotional service. Why? Because even if you do a little bit service in the devotional service, there is no loss. And devotional service to Krishna has to be one pointed. There should not be any distraction. And in devotional service, in fact, the goals from the very beginning is very clear. It's not like that, our goal will change as we progress in the bhakti. From the very beginning, we know Krishna. Krishna Prema is the goal. So we know from the very lower stage all the way up to higher stage. So it's focused. And then the people who are Veda Badrataha, who are incaptivated by flowery words of the Veda, they cannot understand that, because they are captivated by the flowery attachment, flowery results that Veda has to offer. But he says that, but there is distraction, there is obstacle towards one point intelligence, and that obstacle is uh, because Koga Shorya Prasaktanam. If one is entrapped by sense enjoyment and material opulence, they won't be uh, pinpointed. They are not going to be one pointed, because, and we talked about, I'm just kind of very much summarizing it. So we have already discussed about this thing. So rise above the karmakandic teaching and know the purpose of Veda. Purpose of the Veda is that one should come beyond of this sattva, tamo, and rajaguna and engage in devotional service. So we talked about these verses, and then he says that Trayaguna Visaya Veda, the Veda has this three uh, subject, which is dealing with the Tamo, Raju, and Satoguna, but Bhakti is beyond. So you come beyond this guna, and don't be afraid. You should not think that you'll be missing anything. An example is given that there are a small whale, but a big river can fulfill the goal of all the small whale. So for example, there is one whale where you use the water for cooking. There is one whale who use it for your uh, purification, taking shower and other stuff. There is one whale uh, where you use for some other purpose. So there are different whales, and a big river can fulfill the desire of all the whale. So by doing Krishna Bhakti, what is the key message for us? One may go to Kali and say that I want this. One may go to Ganesha and say that I need this. One may go to Indra and say that, I need it. Surya Deva, I want that. So all of these that you will get by going to different personality, you can achieve all of that by worshipping Krishna. Shraddha Shabd Vishwas kahe, Niv Nishchaya Krishna Bhakti kaile Sarva Karya Siddhi haya. All the purpose of having a small well can be fulfilled by a big well. And then Krishna continues talking about Niskam Karma Yoga or Buddhi Yoga. Okay, so I see there is one question here. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, why we have two names for same yoga? Is Buddhi Yoga always Bhakti Yoga or any difference? Buddhi Yoga is always Bhakti Yoga. There is no difference. But why the word Buddhi Yoga is being used? Because in this context, we can see Krishna is first talking about Shakam. First, he's talking about matter and spirit. So that's Gyan. That's also Buddhi, right? Gyan Yoga is also Buddhi. Then he talks about Sakam Karma. Okay.
Pause कर दो.
So that has also, it's also giving some knowledge. And then Sakam Karma, Sakam Karma is also giving some information, it's knowledge. Niskam Karma Yoga is also a set of knowledge that tells that, okay, you have to know that Niskam Karma Yoga is higher than Sakam Karma Yoga is higher than Karma Kandic activity. But with all of this knowledge, one can still be acting within the guna. One may still be acting within the guna. So if that type of buddhi one has, then that is not the buddhi yoga. Okay, so in the very summarized way, the purpose of knowledge, the purpose of buddhi yoga, Krishna says that, one who is medha, who is supreme most medha, he engage in devotional service. Okay, so one who has a perfect knowledge, with that knowledge he will engage in devotional service. Or perfection of the knowledge is basically to engage in the devotional service here. Bhakti is beyond this three mode. And what is the purpose of the Veda? The purpose of Veda is that one should come out of it. So Veda basically, the purpose of the Veda is that it should lead one to devotional service. So Veda itself is the knowledge, right? So when that buddhi, which is basically the buddhi which is empowered with all of this component, come to this stage of yoga, when that buddhi is engaged in devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, it's called buddhi yoga. So bhakti yoga is buddhi yoga. And the word buddhi basically help you understand that when we are saying buddhi, we are saying that we have understood all of these three terms, and we have concluded that the highest most of all is basically to engage in devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that's Buddhi Yoga, or that's Bhakti Yoga. Okay, so Bhakti Yoga and Buddhi Yoga are synonyms, but sometimes you have to give a relative name to make it understand that Bhakti Yoga that we are talking about is not missing. It's not missing anything else. It's not missing Gyan Yoga. It's not missing Niskam Karma Yoga. It's comprising all of that, because the Buddhi Yoga, the Buddhi that help one to engage in devotional service, is outcome of all of this knowledge. Okay, is it clear? Hare Krishna, is it clear?
Yes, Prabhu.
So, for example, if you say we all are devotee, right? But then somebody is very good in deity worship, right? Right? So that person is not devotee, he is devotee, but he is very good in a specific service, right? So bhakti yoga is Buddha yoga, you know, but that bhakti which is outcome of all of this understanding. And that's what the purpose of this chapter is. Krishna started talking from the very lower level, where he said the body and spirit, and then slowly and slowly brought him to Sakam Karma and then Niskam Karma and said that, but here Buddhi Yoga, Bhakti Yoga is what you need to do. Okay, so we'll continue. So, how to practice this Bhakti Yoga, or how to be in Niskam Karma Yogi? Says Karmani, all of you know that, right? Mahapule Sukadachana, Mahakarma Phale Hetu, Gurmate Sangha, Astu Akarmani. You have a right to perform prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the results. And never consider yourself the cause of the results. Okay, this is very important. Never consider yourself cause of the results. Why? Because you are entitled only to perform your duty. Being situated in yoga and not being distracted by success and failure. So, yoga, bhakti yoga here, bhakti yoga, what is yoga? Yoga is basically equanimity. So, one come to that stage where he is not distracted by the duality, by sukha, dukha, success and failure. He is he is considered to be situated in yoga. So now Krishna is giving him guidance that don't worry too much about the results. Don't yourself think that you are the cause of result. Don't think that if these people are going to be killed here, you are cause of killing them. And then he says, Dure nahi auram karma buddhi yogad dhananjaya buddhau sharanam anviksha kripana phala hetava. A person is considered kripana, miser, phala if he engages in a activity for certain result. See here very nicely. Buddhau sharanam anviksha. See here, Mataji, Krishna says that take shelter of buddhi. And here again, buddhi is referring to the Niskam karma. It's spoken in context of Niskam karma. So Niskam karma, Buddhi yoga, and Bhakti, all these three words are being used interchangeably to give the concept. So Niskam karma yoga at the higher stage is also Bhakti yoga. When Niskam karma yoga is beyond the guna, then it's Bhakti yoga. Please make sure that's clear. And some of this concept will be more clear in third chapter. When we talk about the Karma Yoga, fifth chapter, when we talk about action in Krishna consciousness. So there some of these concepts will be more clear. In fact, from second chapter to sixth chapter, we'll be mostly talking about this yoga ladder. So, Kripana Phala a person who is engaged in activity with the result, with the mindset, for a result, then that person is basically Kirpana. So what you need to do? Dure nahi avaram karma. Dure na, I'm sure you all know. Stay away from avaram karma. Avaram, the activity which are not prescribed by Shastra. Okay. So one cannot artificially force themselves to stay away from the avaram karma. Rather, one or one cannot stay away from auram karma by forcing themselves, but the means or the methods to stay away from auram karma, buddhi yoga, dhananjaya, when you take the shelter of buddhi yoga, buddha saranam anviksha, go to the uh, go to the shelter of buddhi yoga, because by taking shelter of the buddhi yoga, you are not going to be kripanaha. You are not going to be a person who is engaged with furtive activity, and you would stay away from auram karma, from unwanted activity. Why? What it would do to you? Then Krishna says, benefit of acting in such a way. What is the benefit? No reaction, he says. Getting rid of both good and bad, even in this life. Therefore, engage in Buddhi Yoga. So, uh, very important point here to be noted. Get rid of both pious and impious activity, because both pious and impious activities are still within the guna. So go out of it, come out of it. And how you can come out of it? By buddhau sharnaman viksha, by taking the shelter of buddhi, by taking the shelter of bhakti. Why? Because there will be no reaction if you act as in Niskam Karma Yogi, as a Buddhi Yogi, and there will be no birth and death. It says, Janma Bandha Binurmukta Padam Gachanti Anamayam Anamayam. So you will be free from uh, from the cycle of birth and death. Okay, and you will be in difference. You will be, will be higher than the flowery offering or flowery, attraction that Veda gives. For example, going, to heavenly planet, Swarga, all of that type of, thinking that you have will vanquish. Okay, will be indifference. Again, indifferences to the Veda. And that will happen when your intelligence has crossed the Mohokalilam, dense forest. When your intelligence has crossed the Mohokalilam, you shall become neutral to all that has been heard and to be heard. So this is very powerful statement. I don't know how much I can emphasize here, but it's very important, that one come to this stage of neutrality. And neutrality means not putting our emotion so much with the things of the material world. It's also called succumbing in. There are there are so many things, happening around us, and we very easily get caught up by it, and then we start acting on the platform of rag and dvesha. Okay, so we start having liking and disliking. Oh, I like, this person very much. Oh, I don't like this person very much. So all liking and disliking is a part of, our suffering. It makes us suffer. Okay, so indifference to Veda means basically Krishna is trying to say that come to this equanimity. All of these, verses here, you can see not all of them. 48 talks about, you know, coming to the equanimity, and then you can see here the 52 also talks about the same thing. We had another verse 38, more or less talking about the same thing, that lava lava jaya jaya. So it's very important that devotees should have control on their emotion and not unnecessarily get sucked into the things that is happening around, the things of the material world. Okay, and that would continue happening unless and until one has not crossed this dense forest of attachment, mohokalilam. As long as the dense forest of attachment is there, one cannot become indifference. That's why Oh Krishna, you become Nishala and completely come into Samadhi. What is that Samadhi? Samadhi of self-realization to attain divine consciousness. So fixed intelligence, Achala Buddhi, and with that fixed intelligence, earn yourself, get into Samadhi. When mind is no longer disturbed by flowery words of the Veda, and intelligence is fixed in the trance of self-realization, then you will attain divine consciousness. Okay, so you can see here that intelligence is fixed in the trance. So intelligence is buddhi, right? So when that intelligence is fixed in the trance, in the devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead for self-realization, then you will attain divine consciousness. So you can see the word buddhi, intelligence, has been used here multiple times to make that point that once intelligence is purified, then one will be engaged in devotional service. One will come to the point of devotional service. So sometimes, people think that bhakti, or mostly the jnani thinks that bhakti yoga is not the process for the people who are very intelligent. Not only they think. They say that jnana yoga is the process for intelligent class of people. Bhakti yoga is for the people who have who have emotions, who have emotions. But prema is emotion. The love that we have for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that is emotion. But coming to the stage of the bhakti is perfection of the intelligence. So please understand that point very clearly. And that's what we are consistently seeing one after another. That when intelligence is fixed, then you will be situated in the trance. Okay, so it's not being said here that a person who has a dilute intelligence, who has a weak intelligence, will be firmly situated in the devotional service. Okay, so intelligence doesn't mean a person who can cite Vedas verses, the tough Sanskrit verses, and who can technically explain that jugularity, or the complexity of the Vedic teaching. Rather, a person who has firmly situated himself without any deviation, one pointed at the center, at the feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is to be understood that he has learned and he has digested and he is following the outcome that the Veda has to offer. So, in difference to Veda means Achala Buddhi, fixed intelligence. Okay, Veda should help one to have fixed intelligence. And if one is rigidly engaged in devotional service, then that person is considered that he is in samadhi and he has crossed all other barriers, the doubt that can prevent one to take shelter. So very important concept is going through these verses. So I just wanted to make sure that you are digesting it. And if you have any questions, I'll take one or two. Okay. Santa Mata, your questions you have.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, yes.
I have a little confusion here. So, okay. Nishkama karma means I do my work. I may not expect anything on that, right? Whatever may be the result, I do my work. Is it correct understanding, Prabhuji?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Now, here, where is bhakti? Because see, I'm not, suppose, take a person. He's not any Krishna consciousness. Means Krishna consciousness means there is a God, there is a, I mean, I need to go to Golok or whatever. He doesn't care anything on the God or anything. But what he knows is, okay, I'll do whatever I need to do. I'll help the people. I'll do. That's all he do. Can he consider?
Yeah, I got your question. Complete. I know where is the answer. Yeah, continue, Mataji.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying, because he's not aware, or he is not really
Yeah. So
care about
Niskam,
the
no.
God
So
or
the
anything.
yeah. I got it. I got it. So higher than Niskam karma is buddhi. Are you see here? Are you seeing this arrow? So
Yeah.
Niskam karma yoga has two division. It could have two division. One division, or the first division, is that a Niskam karma yogi still will be acting within the guna. Okay, but that part of Niskam karma yoga which is not affected by guna is bhakti. So not all Niskam karma yoga is bhakti yoga, but that part of
Okay.
Niskam karma yoga which is beyond guna, which is done to please Supreme Personality of God. Like for example, you all have some services that you do in the temple. Arranging the pot, mopping the floor, making the garland for deities. Those karma that you are doing is basically to please Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that part of the bhakti. But if somebody is doing, niskam karma, like for example, charity, helping the poor people, that niskam karma is still within the guna. But that niskam karma yoga may help one to come to the stage of pure devotional service.
Is it considered Uch Guna, Prabhuji? Means you are considering that as a Sattva Guna? Because see, here also the people who were working on a temple say they are expecting, I mean, they're thinking that it is, I'm doing for the pleasure of Krishna. So you are treating that as a bhakti. Suppose the same person who is doing the same activity, but he is not really thinking of it, but okay, I wanted to do this, I'm doing it. So it is all the perception leads to these respective.
So your action cannot be perfect in the very initial stage. So the process of bhakti, we know, that there are different stages of bhakti. Atho Sardha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajan Kriya, Anarth Nivritti, Nishtha, then Ruchi, then Asakti. So all of that stages you are going, those stages are basically stages of purification. So in the very first stage, like, just going to the temple and thinking that, the service that I'm doing is 100% pure devotional service. That's not going to happen. There is, like, for example, we sometimes do kirtan. So, we want to make sure that people think that, I'm a good kirtaniya. Or sometimes I'm giving class. People should think that I'm a good speaker. I'm teacher. I'm an excellent teacher. So although this is being done for devotional service, but there might be some personal motivation. Yes, you know, I'm big man. Everybody should come and touch my feet, give me respect, and consider that I'm very advanced devotee. I'm pure soul. There should be some motivation. So you should not think that Ramacharya should be 100% pure devotee. It's not possible right now. The stage I am in. But slowly and slowly, slowly and slowly, slowly and slowly, slowly and slowly, purification happens. Okay. Most of the time we are sadhu sangha, bhajan kriya, anartha nivriti stage. Mostly these four. We have some sardha. We associate with devotee. We do some devotional service, and we are trying to get rid of some anartha. But it takes time. Slowly and slowly, one will cross this fourth thing and then come to the stage of Nishtha. So the process is more important than anything else. Knowing the right process, knowing the process, that this process may lead to the goal. Okay. So who is devotee? Who is devotee? Only GBC people are devotee? Only temple presidents are devotee? Only general supervisor secretaries are devotee, or you also devotee? You also devotee. We all are devotee. You are devotee. Why? Why you are devotee? Because you have the Sardha. You have that Sardha. You know that this path will take me to Krishna. But we are with Krishna. How much we remember Krishna? Very little. But we have this value system. We have a process that will take us to Krishna. We might not be there. That's okay. But you are devotee. You will get there. Okay, so that's the point. The point that is being made here, that a devotee might be doing certain activity for some motivation, for personal benefit, but if he continues doing it, at the course of time, he will become pure devotee. Okay, let me ask you here. It says here, Neha vikarma naso asti pratyayo na vidyate swalpamatyasya dharmasya trayato mahato bhayat. It says that a person who has done little bit of the bhakti, his bhakti is never going to be lost. What does it mean? What does it mean? So if we have done little bit of bhakti, can we go back to Krishna? Answer yes or no, Mataji. Mataji, answer yes or no. Please say yes or no. If we
Okay.
have done so, if we
No,
have done little bit of the bhakti, are we going to back to Krishna or no?
maybe no.
No.
We'll
Answer
be
is
here.
no. Answer
Yeah.
is no. Yes. So are we going to take the birth or no?
Yeah.
Yes. But that birth, there are two types. Okay. People may take birth based upon their swabhav and karma. Okay. So normal ordinary people who have no faith in Krishna, has not done any bhakti, their birth is the outcome of their swabhav and karma. Okay. But your birth, you have not perfected devotional service. You have not perfected. I have not perfected. But I have faith in Krishna. I have done some devotional service. So my birth is not going to be based on my swabhav and karma. My birth, Krishna will decide. You will read in the 6th chapter. And then Krishna will give me the opportunity in next life so that I can become devotee. And that's all. That's the reason all of you are in America. That's the reason all of you are part of Bhakti Shastri course. That's the reason that all of you are even trying to be devotee, because Krishna has chosen that how I can nourish the faith that person has and bring that person to me, back to home, back to Krishna. So you think that your life is managed by something else is wrong. Your life is personally managed by Krishna. Devotees' lives are managed by Krishna. Anything that's happening, Sukha Dukha, anything that happens, Krishna personally bring that thing in the devotee life so that devotee can come back to home, back to Krishna. So that's the meaning of that verse. If you want me to explain it, Nyavikarvana swasti patayavana vidyate. So you have to understand, somebody is engaged in the devotional service, not purely, don't criticize. That person will become pure devotee. Okay, so but if somebody is completely off the hook and doing things without knowing Krishna, then that person is still within the guna. But that person at the course of time will be getting the opportunity to do bhakti. So there are ladder. Okay, Mataji, is good enough?
Yeah. Only that guna. What is that guna? You are saying sattva guna. Which guna he is into?
All three
Suppose
gunas, all three gunas.
there is a person who doesn't have anything, like doing nishkama. Nishkama means like he's not expecting anything. He doesn't have bhakti, but he is doing all the things like helping others and doing their activity without expecting anything.
It's all
So
guna. It's all within the guna.
yeah. Guna means all the
All,
gunas you
I don't know. It depends what the person is in guna. I mean, somebody might have, might be engaged in activity which is in the mode of, ignorance. For example, you know, going to the place of prostitution and trying to help the prostitute is mode of tamaguni. You are trying to help, but you are you are doing prostitution, but you are helping prostitute. And so likewise, mode of goodness is that a person who is trying to help the people who are in the mode of goodness. So one may be trying to help someone and trying to be niskama, but it's still literally part of guna. That's why guna, you have to see where that person is engaged in. Is it good enough? So as long as your activities are part of guna, it's not your devotional service. That's what the point is being made. But when that niskam karma yoga is uh, towards Krishna, then it becomes, bhakti yoga. There will be some motivation, but that motivation with due course of time, Krishna will fix. Here, Sri Krishna is saying that fix your intelligence, become Achala Buddhi. We, you know, all of us have some degree of determination. All of us, all of us. Some of us have very firm determination. You know, some still have a loose determination. Okay, but Krishna is giving us the opportunity. If we all are continuing the devotional service, why? Because of the intent. We have intent to become devotee. We are not pure devotee. We have intent. So as long as that intent is there, Krishna will preserve it and give the opportunity to engage in devotional service. Okay, Mataji. So if somebody is not engaged in devotional service, then that person is still far away. Is still being tossed, rolled and tossed by Una. I mean, that's what Krishna says here. That if you have done a little bit of the bhakti, if you have that intent, then I will purify it. I'll take care of it. Okay, but for you to be firmly fixed in devotional service, you need to these things. You need to cross over this moha kalilam. You know, this attachment that you have, that has to go away. Do we have attachment? Yes. Yes. But in order for us to be firmly fixed, the word that is being used there, samadhi, one has to be firmly fixed into samadhi. But to come to samadhi, you have to have all of this quality. And if you have come to that stage and attain the divine consciousness, then you are Jivan Muktaha, he says. What is the Jivan Muktaha? Jivan Muktaha means one who is liberated, who is free from the duality of the material world. He is fully and firmly fixed in Buddhi Yoga, in devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, so everything that we, so very nicely, it's very, very logical. It starts from matter and spirit, comes to Karma Yoga, Niskam Karma Yoga, then finally Buddhi Yoga. And then Krishna says, if you are firmly fixed in the Buddhi Yoga, you are Jivan Mukta. Now you have become a powerful devotee. So as soon as Arjun heard this word, Jivan Mukta, he asked this question. Isit pragya ka bhasa samadhi astasya kesava. Isit dhi kim prabhasita kim asita brjita kim. You can see kim is coming here. Then he said, okay, Krishna, please tell me, ka bhasa, what is the general symptom of a person who is Jivan Mukta? Kim prabhasita, how does he talk? Kim asita, how does he sit? And here, sitting means restraining his senses from the sense object. How does he speak? Means how does he interact under the blasphemy that happens to him, the affection that is given to him, the hatred that is towards him, internally and externally. How does he deal with the situation? A devotee is not affected by any one of these things. And you saw, what Arjun, Krishna is saying here to Arjun consistently. And then Kim Prajet, how does he walk? And walk here refers to how does he respond when the objects of sensual pleasure are given to him, or he is exposed to the object of sensual pleasure. So these 4 questions. What a very important question. Everybody, what is the symptom of a person who is liberated? You'll ask. Can you tell me, Prabhu, how that person looks like who is liberated? Arjuna is clearly asking these questions. What is his general symptoms? How does he speak? Himasita, how does he sit? Kimbrajeta, how does he walk? Okay, and you can see the meaning of those. What is the meaning of how does he speak? Means how does he act when affection, hatred, and blasphemies given to him. Okay, so I'll give a pause here and would like to see if anybody has any realization or anything that they would like to share before I get into this topic. Any questions anybody has? Yes, Gopal Prabhu, please go ahead.
Prabhu, you able to hear me, Prabhu?
Yeah, very clearly I can hear you. Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, in one of the just previously you just said
Yeah,
if there is a devotee, his next life is controlled by Krishna,
yeah.
but not by karmas.
Uh-huh.
That. Okay, I am stuck on that one, Prabhu. So a devotee who he may be not be completely a 100% devotee this lifetime. So he will get a lifetime. Next lifetime he will be a devotee and in a better position. You mean?
Yeah. Arjuna Bhakti Jani He Name Bhakta Panashti. Yes. Yes, dear devotees. So all of you are devotee and all of you, whatever opportunity has come in your life because of Krishna. And everything else in past that has happened with you, it is just a preparation for you to come to this stage. Krishna exactly knows that how this person will become my devotee, what type of facility this person need to become devotee, what type of environment I can give where he can come close to me exactly. Ato Shraddha, Tato Sadhu Sangha, Bhajan Kriya, Anartha Nivritti. When there is some firm faith, even once with your heart, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Once the eyes have, teared for Krishna, little bit, once you hold class and you have that good feel, your heart said, ah, so nice. Krishna is so great. Right there, Krishna says, I heard you. And that's Shraddha. It has been seen that people start devotional service, they do some service, then get distracted, goes, enjoys, but the taste for bhakti that they had when they were devotee, that would never go. And then again, he will come back to devotional service. If not this life, next life, Krishna will give him birth. And you will see that in 6th chapter, Krishna says, the one who has perfected and the one who has not perfected. Suchinam Srimate Gehe. You will see that. I don't want to say right now. So for all of them, there is plan. Krishna has a plan for it. So your life will be taken care. You will be, any devotional service that you have done, any bhakti that you have done, that is never going to be snatched away from you. Nothing. You will only proceed from there. It will stay where it is, or it will grow. Now, that part, how quickly you are going to grow, that part Krishna doesn't interfere because Jiva has their free will. But Krishna will preserve your devotion and he will facilitate the means where you can go. Sometimes he will put in a situation, Janmeswarya Sutasri Yadmana Madhapuman Naivaratya Vidhatuyam Twemakinchana Gochara. Sometimes Krishna will put you in a very opulent situation. Right now, we all are in a very opulent situation. Good house, good job, good money. And Krishna, maybe this is good for our Krishna consciousness, but sometimes we might be put into a very poverty-stricken condition. And that time, that might be good for our devotional service. So devotee's life is personally navigated by Krishna. Okay, what else? Is it good enough, Prabhu?
Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah, that's
Prabhu,
very soothing to hear, Prabhu. That's very good to hear, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
It should be that, Sabhagya, Sabhagya. This is fortune of a devotee. In 11th canto, there is a story of prostitute Pingla. Let me tell you that story since we are on that theme. So prostitute
Prabhu,
Pingla, yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, just to add, so just to have the clarity here for me, correct me if I'm wrong. So for devotees, Krishna will interfere because Krishna is the controller and Krishna can control anyone. It doesn't matter he's a devotee or not, right? But in devotee's life, you're saying Krishna will interfere uh, for taking the next life or whatever the activities for the karma and all. But for non-devotee, only karma plays into the action and Krishna may not interfere. Can I understand in this way?
Yeah.
Because
So it
anything
has.
for anyone.
Uh,
As Krishna is the controller and he is the one, he can do anything for anyone,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But he may not interfere much in non-devotees and majorly karma plays a role for the things,
Yes.
but the devotee's life, Krishna may interfere and may change the things the according to leading his life to more better devotee. Can I understand
Yeah.
this?
So what is your question? Yes, that's true.
No, there is no question. Just
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want.
Yes, Mataji. Yes. So example is given that there are two birds on a tree. Have you heard that story? So one bird is Atma and another bird is Paramatma. Okay. So Atma and Paramatma, they are sitting on a tree that is loaded with fruits. And one tree is very happily, poking all the sweet fruit and enjoying, flying from here, going to that branch and from there to that branch. And he's never looking at the second tree, which is on the tree, Atma and Paramatma. So they're all living beings who are completely based upon their desire. They are put into a situation where they are completely taken over by illusory energy of the Lord. And they are just enjoying the fruits. Okay. Bhoga and Aishwarya. They are completely in Bhoga, Raga and Dvesha. There is no God. It's all their desire. They want to enjoy life in that way. So Krishna put them in that category where he doesn't want to come. Okay, you want to enjoy as much as you can. But then, the same person going through different suffering, going through Guru Krishna Prasade Bhaya Bhakti Lata Beach, some point a devotee of the Lord will get interfere into life. Or that person is walking on the street and he sees devotees are doing kirtan. He just comes and be part of the kirtan because he likes music. Something will happen like that. And then, he'll start doing the pious credit, Sukriti karma. And then slowly and slowly, he will have attraction for Krishna. Then he will have some Shraddha. As soon as that Shraddha comes, then Krishna helps. So it's not like that Krishna is unnecessarily forcing and taking care of the devotee's life. It's not like that. Why Krishna will help me? Because I want to be a pure devotee. This is my goal. I want to not have any, aparadh in my, I don't want to have any prajalpa. I always want to remember Krishna. I never want to forget Krishna. I want to do big services for Krishna. I want to start, preaching places where I can preach. That's my desire. My desire is always to do something for Krishna consciousness. I don't have desire to make a lot of money. I don't have desire to be a rich person. I don't have desire to be a very famous person. I don't have desire to be known as a powerful devotee. None of these things are my desire. My desire is that I just want to be humble, menial, servants of the servants of the servants of the servants of the devotee. How can I serve? And I always see fit at everybody. It doesn't matter new, old, powerful devotee, non-powerful devotee. So all of this duplicity you see Krishna is saying here. That if you are trying to be into the samadhi, you have to have this quality. These are very powerful section that we are going through, depending on how much you are getting out of it. So we don't want, this the eyes that seeing differences. Okay, we don't want to be captivated by Aishwarya and name and fame. So, but I'm not able to do it. So Krishna will help me. I have a deity, I go and pray, my dear Lord, I know that I'm not that strong in your devotional service. I still have weakness. I think that if I don't work, I can't eat food. Krishna will help me. He knows that, I'm striving, I'm trying to be pure devotee, I have some weakness. So that's why, sometimes certain thing, you keep on telling, but it doesn't make sense unless and until you yourself is asking that question. Okay, so I have spoken this multiple times that value system and swabhava. Okay, once we have a value system that is coming out of the Guru Shastra and Sadhu, you are a pure devotee. I might not be able to do everything 100% right. I still have raga dosha. I still have anger. Okay, I still have liking, disliking at this stage. But I don't want that. I feel guilty when something happens wrong, that I am part of it. Krishna will help me. And I always pray that, my dear Lord, how can I come out of it? I just want to be neutral, not, So some of these things Krishna will help. So don't take it wrong way. That's all the thing that I'm trying, I'm telling you not to take it wrong way. And also it's very important to listen very carefully and try to see where we stand. Okay, it's very important to know what position you hold. Okay, not try to jump too high, not try to jump too little. Okay, so if always you should have understanding that where you are standing in your devotional service, where exactly you are. Not, they say that you are not farming your field and you are criticizing others for not farming their field. Don't worry. Everybody who has taken devotional service, all of you are being taken care by Krishna. I should not worry too much about any fault that I see in you. Krishna will take care. But you yourself formally situate yourself in devotional service. And then from there, you start seeing things. Okay. So the point I was trying to make is that you might think that I'm not there, right? You might think that I'm not a devotee, but that's not true. If you're not a devotee, then you would not have gotten the chance to come into devotional service. Now you have to see, my faith is firm. How can I purify my activity? How can I, purify my words? By always saying good thing about people, never criticize about people. All of these things, is missing, right? You still think that intelligence is better. If I don't say something, people will not know who am I, right? If I don't give if I don't show that I'm very powerful devotee, all these people would not understand me as a powerful devotee. So there is still some, intelligence part that we bring into it. But slowly and slowly, you will purify, and then you will firmly know what is the bhakti exactly, what is your relationship with the God, and what is the living being relationship with the God. Okay, so we have to see, all of you have relationship with Krishna. Not only I have the relationship, but only Gopal Gatu Prabhu has a relationship. So these are the things, and this is called maturity of the devotional service. Okay, you cannot be matured in 1 or 2 years or 3 years, depending how much fire of devotion you have. According to that, purification will start happening in your life. 10, 15, 20, 30 years down to line, you'll be a different person. You'll be a person who would know that how much transformation has happened to your consciousness. Right now, the person that we are talking is a Jivan Mukta. He is a person who is fully attain the divine consciousness. You see, he will attain divine consciousness and Jivan Mukta. Okay, so whatever we are talking about right now, we are going to talk about a person who has fully attained the divine consciousness. Manor, we wanted to say something.
No, I just wanted to remind you, you started on the Pingla story and then.
So Pingla story, what happened? So Pingla was a prostitute. Okay, so what she will do is that every day she will get ready, dress up herself very nice, and she'll put all the ornament and everything, and she will stand in front of her door, and then people will come, and she will invite them, and she will make money. That's how she was making money. That's how her life was going. She continued that. One day she was standing outside, and it started in the morning. By 10 o'clock, nobody came. By 1, nobody came. By 3 o'clock, nobody came. And then she started thinking. See, here is a very important concept that's coming. She started thinking, I'm so much dressed up, and I'm waiting here for people who don't even care for me. I have given my whole life caring for these people who don't care for me. And who are these people? These people are going through the cycle of birth and death. And then suddenly she starts thinking about eternity of herself and starts thinking about, Krishna. So she develops huge detachment for the things that she has been doing day in, day out. She develops a huge detachment. And as she is developing the detachment, she is developing the appreciation for her eternity, appreciation for that person who loves everyone whom she has not yet been loving. She has no taste to love that person who has loving her lifelong, but she is wasting her time loving those people who are not caring for her. So she is going through multiple type of emotion, detachment, appreciation, and amidst of all of that, she feels fortune. Oh, how fortunate am I that even this this thought process has started coming into my mind. So that's the main point I wanted to bring. That she has not become pure devotee. She has not even engaged herself in devotional service. She's detaching herself from the occupation that she has been occupied to. But she's feeling fortune. How fortunate I am that I'm thinking about that person. Okay. So how fortunate all of you are who are engaged in devotional service. So this is a matter of pride. Okay. Why I wanted to tell this story? I want to tell this story because when I said that Krishna is going to take care of everybody's life, you might think, oh, I'm not quite there, but that's not true. That's why I brought this example that this person has not even started devotional service and she is feeling fortune. How fortunate I am. So devotees who have taken devotional service, they are extremely, extremely, extremely fortunate. All of you are extremely fortunate. So understand that part. All of us are very fortunate because samsara davana lalita loka taranya karunya gana ganatam. This is samsara davana, this is forest fire of this material world. People are burning. But somehow or other you have taste for the Supreme Lord. That itself is more than enough. That itself will protect. That itself will give you a pathway to live this life. So why to worry? That's the point, I was trying to drive to. Okay, Prabhu? You good enough?
Yes. That's so inspiring. Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Yeah, please go ahead.
One more thing. I mean, just I don't want to take.
No, please ask.
So I was thinking diagrammatically. I thought there are three things which one thing is me. Okay. Other thing is the activity which I do, and the result of that activity which is coming from it. Okay. And Krishna is saying you have right to your activity, not the results of the activity. Don't try to own it. Don't even think the cause of the results of your activity. And then don't be attached to not doing your duty. Don't do abominable things. All these things, abominable things, I'm not very clear. I mean, maybe that is vikarma he's talking about. But don't do nonsense. Don't do just sit idle and do nothing, thinking. But whatever work is in hand, according to your circumstance, do it properly, right? Honestly, and do your best. But don't even expect the fruits of action, or don't even think that whatever has come to you right now is you are the cause of it. That is like a complete cutoff between results and action. That was I was thinking. Just some thought here.
Yeah. So I will align with that. Are
Yeah.
you aligned with that, or you have some doubt there?
No. I mean, I had some question about abominable work,
Uh-huh.
because what is abominable work? How
Work
do we
that is not
define it?
prescribed in Shastra. Avaram
Okay.
karma, durena avaram karma, is stay away from avaram, abominable activity, which is, you said very clearly, vikarma.
Okay. Okay.
So don't engage yourself in prostitution. Don't engage yourself in, in cheating people. Don't yourself in slaughterhouse, meat eating. Those type of things are avaram karma, because those are not the activity prescribed in Dharma Shastra.
The other question I had,
Yes,
Prabhuji,
Prabhuji,
is
please.
when it says you don't do Nishkam Karma, right? I mean, Nishkam means without any motive. Can we say that?
Sakam, yeah, niskam, yeah, no motivation,
What
no,
do you mean?
no, basically desire for the fruitive result. So here's another thing: desire for fruitive result has another meaning. So fruitive result means the activity that is ultimately for your pleasure.
Hmm.
So sakam karma, fruitive activity, we use the word fruitive activity, which has a result, but the result, the beneficiary is you.
Okay. 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 So Sakam, that doesn't mean, see, because it's very difficult to work without a motive.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
plan, we want certain things to happen at the end of what we're doing. But
Uh-huh.
uh, what when we say Sakam Karm, we are just saying that, okay, I'm not the beneficiary of that result of the work. I'm
Uh-huh.
doing it for the organization. Say I'm
Yeah.
going to work. I'm doing for the best of my organization,
Uh-huh.
right? I'm not trying to, uh, trying to get a promotion, or trying to get a raise, or trying to get a good name like that. I want to be best and contribute my best to the organization I'm working.
Mm-hmm.
Can we say like that? If we work with that motive, can we say that is, you know, nishkam karma?
Yeah, it is. So here's the thing. Uh, there are 4 ways we interact with the things of the material world, right? So if you look at this world, you see here in the bracket it says Yukta. So that engage, and it says Yukta Vairagya. You see here Yukta?
Right. Yeah.
Are you seeing here?
Yes, ma. Yes.
So, so when we are talking about devotional service, we are talking about Yukta Vairagya. So what is Yukta? Yukta means from outside, still it sounds like that you are acting, but you are acting in Vairagya. Now, but before that, there is dovetailing. So most of us, in my opinion, please forgive me, I'm not trying to be offensive, we are not still acting on Yukta Vairagya. We are acting on dovetailing. So there is very first stage, which is called succumbing stage, which is also called Bisaya Sangraha. Okay, so 4 stages, let me explain you. The very first stage is Bisaya Sangraha, where we do things only for our own pleasure. Okay, Prabhu. And higher than that is a stage of dovetailing, where we try to connect things in relation to Krishna. Okay. And third one is Yukta Vairagya, where we only do for the pleasure of Krishna. Okay.
Hmm.
But this Yukta Vairagya is also part of the Vadhi Bhakti. You are still trying to follow vidhis, Shastra and Shastra, it's conducted by Shastra's instructions, Yukta. So still there is, so the thrust or the thrive for doing it is coming because you want to follow rule. But higher than that is a spontaneous devotion, where you have spontaneously love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay. So in order for us to come to the stage of a spontaneous love or to the Yukta Vairagya, we have to go through the dovetailing process. So we are not 100%, we still have some Visaya Sangraha, don't take me wrong, but mostly dovetailing. Right now, we are in a stage of consciousness where we dovetail things. We try to use things for our benefit at the same time for the benefit of Krishna consciousness. But we are not completely Yukt Vairagya. Okay, so some of this concept that's being talked about is for Yukt Vairagya. When you are in the Yukt Vairagya, then you are acting like that, not when in the dovetailing stage. So in dovetailing stage, still there is, desire. So 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 your dovetailing stage is combination of some of the Visaya Sangraha, some of the Yukt Vairagya, and some of the dovetailing itself. If your action has combination of all these theories, that's another thing to be understood. That we are right now in this stage, we are combining so many concepts at a time because we are not 100% following a particular concept. We are not 100% Yukt Vairagya, not 100% dovetailing also, not 100% Visaya Sangraha also. So that is why you are seeing this conflict. But this Niskam Karma Yoga, which will lead to Bhakti Yoga. In Bhakti Yoga, in pure Bhakti, it's only Yukt Vairagya. And how to understand Yukt Vairagya? In Yukt Vairagya, you only possess the thing which have value in Krishna consciousness. You don't possess anything that has value for your luxury, for your benefit. And very simple example I always give is like fan and chamra. Chamra and fan, we don't have anything. Okay, we put it at our house only to serve Krishna. So that's Yukt Vairagya. But other things that we have in our house, we are also user of it. So it's dovetailing. It's dovetailing. Okay, Prabhu. So Niskam Karma, when it's done in Yukt Vairagya stage, then it's Buddhi Yoga. We are not doing, so we are not 100% also doing Niskam Karma. That was your question. So yes, we still have some of this mix going on around, but our goal is that we should formally act in Yukt Vairagya, which means only for the pleasure, or do things which are only for the pleasure of Krishna. Perfect example is his Divine Grace Prabhupada. No son, no house, no family, nothing. Everything he was doing, wherever he would go, trying to only spread Krishna consciousness. See my point?
Yes, yes.
So that's that's how it is. But right now we are kind of blend of it. So yes. So what you said is right. We still have some motivation behind our activity, but that will slowly and slowly purify, and will start acting in Yukt Vairagya.
Yeah. I mean, I know some people are very alcoholic types. They simply keep working. But in devotional service is very dynamic. Every moment we
Yeah.
have to check whether it is for Krishna or not, and what does Krishna want. But workaholics, they are like more like mode of ignorance. Keep on working. Uh,
Yeah.
they don't
So we are not 100% like that, but we still have some work that we do, right?
right. Yeah.
Yes.
So means would we place a workaholic in a Nishkam karma category, or where
I
would we
don't know.
place?
I don't know. I mean, you have to give the example, definition, what exactly that workaholic is.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen at corporate work, some
Yeah,
people work.
corporate world definitely will not come under Niskam Karma, but there are devotees, who are working very hard, very, very hard, and they are always trying to research Shastra, writing books, engage in devotional service, and they are as busy as we, you and I are doing the work outside. So they are Niskam Karma Yoga. They are in fully Buddhi Yoga. But on the other hand, the devotees who are uh, engaged in things which are not directly related to Krishna, then I think it will be difficult to say that the person is in the Niskam Karma Yoga.
Prabhuji, I
Thank you.
really
Yeah.
liked what you said. We should recognize where we are.
Oh yeah, very important.
because as you say, we have tendency to enjoy the senses. At the same time, we have somehow or other fallen in association with devotees and are doing something.
But
So
Krishna has arranged that for us, and at the course of time, it will purify. But yes, it's very important to Sranam Kirtanam Nididhyasnam. Sranam Mananam Nididhyasnam. So Mananam has to happen. Some introspection has to happen, that where do I stand in my bhakti? Recently, I was listening one of the class, and in that class, it was being talked by my Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Sadhana Sai Maharaj. He was emphasizing this point. It's very important that devotee know their footage. Thank you. So I have next batch. You know, they have to give the exam today. By the way, I'm going to be basically off for next 4-5 weeks. So no classes for next 4 weeks. I'll be in India. I'm mostly residing in Vrindavan. I have some services there that I want to do. So we can start on 24th December now. So lot of time for you to finish your homework and work on your services. We'll resume back on 24th December.
okay, that's nice, Prabhu, because I'm also going to India for 3 weeks.
Okay. So if you're in Vrindavan, let's touch base. Okay, Prabhu.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah,
Once
Hare Krishna.
Kalpa Kripa Sindhu Vayavasa Patitanam Pavana Vaishnava Namo Nama Symbol Bhakta Vrind ki Jai. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hari
Hare
Bol,
Krishna.
thank
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Bol.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Hare Bol.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I hope, also send us some pictures also, Prabhuji, whenever you go
Thank
to
you.
the things.
Have a nice trip, Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare
very much.
Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
See you all, Hare Bol.
Yeah,
Hari Bol,
Hare
Prabhu.
Bol, Prabhu.